Where are you going? We haven't even started.
Hello and welcome back to the Punchlines and Plot Twist official podcast. I am your host, Caleb.
I'm your co-host, Slim.
And today we are going to be getting into our UFC 315 recap from the card that went on tonight. It was a very entertaining night. It was a good night for both of us. I made a decent amount of money. How did you do?
Not that well.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, I went 9-3 for picks. You went
If we're going off the TikTok card, I
Yep.
went 7-5.
7-5. Yep.
Yes.
So yeah, I had a pretty good night. You had a fairly decent night.
It's getting better
And
slowly.
but you scrambled with bets and you did all right. Yeah.
Some of them.
Yeah.
Some of them.
We do have a brand new welterweight champion in the UFC, JDM, but we will get into that when it comes time for that. Starting all the way down at the bottom of the card, we started off the night very, very strong with Bezgat Almakhan versus Brad Katona, and Bezgat put him out in the first round.
I think it was the first minute.
It was the first minute. 1 minute,
Yeah.
4 seconds is the official time on that fight.
Nasty uppercut.
Victory by punch. Total strikes was 11. 8 were landed. And Brad Katona threw 4 punches and landed 1.
Yeah.
Bezgat looked phenomenal tonight. He put Brad out very quick and very efficiently and started off the night very strong.
Yeah, that's the one that got me hyped up for this fight when he knocked him out.
Yeah, we were riding very high after that to start.
I can't see it. Yeah, I'm trying to read off yours. Oh yeah, we had Daniel Santos and Jung Young Lee. That was also a really good fight. I was hoping for the Lee finish. We didn't get it. Santos actually came out. First round, he didn't look all that great. Even the commentators were saying, because he went up a weight class, right?
Yes.
They were saying the extra weight didn't look good on him, but as soon as the second and third came around, they were like, "Oh, he's looking good," and he did. It was a complete switch from rounds 1 to 2 and 3, and that was a pretty good fight.
Yeah, I think Santos did enough to keep it competitive.
Oh, he definitely won.
And
the
it
fight.
was a very high-paced fight. But, yeah, Jeong Lee did 30-27s on all 3 scorecards, and that's the way I saw it, too.
Yeah, we saw Lee struggle against the grappling.
A little bit, for
which
sure.
lost him this fight, so.
Yeah, it was tough. And
Oh, that's the first one I got wrong as well.
yeah, me too. I was riding on Jeong Lee, and Jeong Lee he cracked, man. He didn't look good under the pressure, and Santos just kept it on him and kept it fairly dominant, but Jeong Lee was able to keep it competitive.
That's fair.
I think I was saying that wrong initially, but Jeong Lee kept it competitive, while Daniel Santos was fairly dominant in this fight, though.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Tell him about the next one.
We had Marc-Andre Barriault versus Bruno Silva, and Marc-Andre put Bruno Silva the fuck out with some brutal elbows that put him face down in the canvas for several minutes, sent him to the hospital on a stretcher. It was brutal. It was hard to watch.
It was not hard
But it was fun to watch.
It was not hard to watch for me. I knew he was going to do it. My pick was Barriault knockout. I mean, the dude's just good. He's really good. And I think he kind of came out and proved a point that he's like that.
Yeah. He put hands on him, and it was a rebound fight he needed.
Because that one was almost in the first minute, too. Was it
1 minute, 27 seconds.
Yeah, so.
Very early. Very efficient.
Very early knockout.
That was followed up by Navajo Sterling and Evan Ersland. Navajo Sterling was my lock of the week, and he did pull it out by decision, but it was way closer than I would have liked it to be. The scorecards had it 29-28, 29-28, and 29-27. And I really was riding on a Navajo Sterling knockout here. And I was kind of disappointed that he didn't get it, but also Evan Ursland showed some pretty good durability as well.
Oh, yeah. With this fight, I had Sterling by knockout as well. I'm not upset at all that he didn't get it, but he, to me, looked a little bit uncomfortable.
For
in
sure.
the striking, where normally I'm used to seeing him being a very dominant powerhouse on the feet. It seemed like Ursland was a hard puzzle for him to figure out. And in the end, he got it. It was just, I'd like to see him fight again soon so I can get a better gauge of where he's at moving up in competition. Because I think he can be a pretty big force to be reckoned with in the light heavyweight division.
I would agree. And yeah, I'm glad that Sterling still won, and he definitely did win this fight still. But it was way closer than I would have liked it to be. But Navajo Sterling did not fall victim to the curse tonight. And that is good for my picks coming into next week, for sure.
All right, inside joke. Trying this for the second time. Modestas Bukauskas versus Ion Cutelaba. Great fight. Personal hot take. Bukauskas fairly won that in the split decision.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that I was on the Ion Cutelaba side on this, so I might be a little biased. But I think that Ion Cutelaba won that fight. And I think it was a slight robbery. I do think Bukauskas looked cleaner in this fight, and he looked like the better fighter. But Ion Cutelaba just put more volume out there, and he landed way more. He landed 121 to Bukauskas' 52, which is more variation than I thought was from initially watching it. But that just proves my point a little bit more, that it's 52 to 121.
Yeah.
Kind of wild. And 2 minutes of control time to 1 minute of control time. 1 minute of control time. But I do also see where the decision came in the way it did. The judges had it 30-27, 27-30, and 29-28. Definitely a split decision. Definitely a very close fight.
Yeah, I do think Bukauskas' defense looked pretty solid in that fight, even though he was getting a lot of strikes technically landed on him. He was blocking a lot of that damage most of the time. He still did eat quite a few good shots, but
Oh, yeah.
it seemed like everything he threw was with a meaning, and it landed pretty often.
Yeah.
To me, at least. It just looked clean, technical. He looked somewhat comfortable.
And yeah, I would agree. I think, yeah.
And sometimes it just boils down to how it looks, how the fight looks. Even though one person might statistically, on paper, have beaten them, it's all about appearance.
That's the way I choose to look at the way the judges scored this one as well, is because just Bukauskas did look like the better and cleaner fighter in this one. That one was followed up by Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Jessica Andrade. Jasmine had a dominant first-round submission over Jessica Andrade with a rear naked choke. It was beautiful.
Dominant.
Jasmine looked fantastic. She is definitely ready for a top contender fight, and
Yeah,
I think she could win that. Depending on the contender, she could win most of those fights.
Yeah, Andrade is not a scrub.
No.
And to me, that was total domination. I think anybody else that watched that would think it's total domination. Got her to the ground and just wore her out quick. Got under her jaw, and that was it.
Yeah.
Made it look easy.
Got the tap, and that was all
Didn't
she
need
wrote.
3 rounds. 4 minutes, right?
2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Almost 3 minutes. Okay, so needed 3 whole minutes to take out Jessica Andrade. That is impressive.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about that one. It was just impressive.
Yep.
Oh. Ooh. On the next fight, we got Mike Mallow and Charles Radke. That fight was a banger. Did not last long. I personally had Charles Radke. I like how he strikes. I was not familiar with Mike Malo's game. Thought I watched enough film on him, but I would not listen. I was proven wrong. Mike Malo is him. Had a badass speech, sat on top of the cage with the
Canadian
slightly
flag.
bloodied up Canadian flag. Dude was living out a dream. That was a cool fight.
Yeah, no, Mike Malott, I was familiar with this game. He was my pick for this fight. I was a little worried about Charles's hands and the power behind those,
Yeah, he does have hands.
but I knew Mike Malott had hands of his own to counter those, and he had a great ground game to rely back on too if he needed it. And in this one, he really did not need it at all, and he had a second round TKO early, 26 seconds into that round.
some brutal follow-up shots on the ground.
Bounced Radke's head off of the canvas.
Yeah, the Warriors need to sign him because he bounced that shit like a basketball.
Yes,
a
he
good
did.
like 8 times.
It was a fantastic way to wrap up the prelims and a great fight. And
A win for Canada.
yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Moving on to Benoit Saint Denis versus Kyle Prepolek. This was a round 2 submission, 2 minutes and 35 seconds in, and it was a victory by arm triangle.
A dominant showing.
Yeah, I think Benoit started out a little bit slower than everybody expected him to, but then he got it going very quickly and was very dominant very quickly, and he showed that the very wide odds were fairly justified in this fight.
I will give Prepolep his flowers. I personally do not know how he stayed in there past the first round. He was getting beat up on, just controlled. He was getting dominated since the bell started. Even though it was a slower pace, he did not stand a chance in that fight. Benoit kind of showed everybody that. He made some good call-outs, too, afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he call out Justin Gaethje, Dan Hooker, and I think Mateus Gamrot?
I think so,
Which
too.
all of those fights would be fantastic. Put it on fight week.
I would be okay with any of those as well in fight week, yeah.
Probably not going to happen with 2 months unless he's planning on being real active. He didn't really take a lot of damage, so I guess he could do it.
Yeah,
That wouldn't be bad.
about 2 months, month and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, just another...
It'd be a fairly quick turnaround, but we've seen quicker.
RDR's doing it.
Yeah. Weeks difference, not too bad.
Yeah. What do we got next? Alexa Grasso and Natalia Silva. Personally, to me, Silva dominated this fight. I did see a lot of stuff online as the fight was happening saying Silva was running. I don't think it was running. It's the way she always fights. It's smart. It's effective. It keeps her safe. She put a lot more damage on Grasso than Grasso did to Silva. I think she 100% unanimously won that fight. And I feel like she's ready for a bigger jump in competition after this fight.
Absolutely. I think that Natalia Silva just shut down Alexa Grasso in this fight. She used her movement really well, and she baited Alexa Grasso in very well. She put some pieces on, or punches onto her and landed some shots, and then she backed right back out. I think she fought a very clean, very technical fight, and she won 30-27 on all 3 Georgia scorecards. And it was kind of surprising that she was able to shut down a fighter as talented as Alexa Grasso is in the way that she did. But
Number 1 contender spot.
yeah,
I would like to see Silva against
Shevchenko. I think that is a very good fight as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's the number 1 contender now.
I think that's the next fight to make.
Yeah, I really do. That's what I meant by big jump in competition. Because I don't think Grasso holds a candle to Shevchenko or her legacy, especially after tonight.
Yeah, which we will get into a little bit later. But the next fight was Jose Aldo versus Amin Zabi. This was Jose Aldo's last ride, man.
Fuck Zahibi. Keep going.
Zahibi was my pick. I love the guy. I thought he looked fantastic. He looked extremely durable.
Bum.
I'm surprised he survived that onslaught from Aldo early, but he did, and he almost finished Jose there at the end. They were both extremely tired, but I think Zabi did enough to get it done. It is tough to see one of the greats like Aldo go down like that, but sometimes that's just how it falls, and there are no happy endings in MMA.
I hate that twist. There's no happy endings in MMA. I get it. I just want one. I just want one.
Dustin Poirier.
I hope so, because Dustin Poirier definitely deserves it. Jose Aldo deserved it as well.
I would agree. I think he deserved it, but he didn't get it, and he didn't deserve it tonight.
I think this fight was closer than the scorecards had it too, personally. I still think Zahibi would have won, but I feel like it should have been a split decision.
All three judges had it 2-1, so that's a fairly close
smarter
fight.
than the judges. Zahibi's a fucking can. What? That's featherweight? Give him Diego Lopez. Make him pay for what he did to Jose Aldo.
I don't hate it. I think
I do.
Diego Lopez definitely beats his ass, but
That's the point. That's the whole point. Let Diego get a little warm-up in on this piece of shit, and then send it back to Volk for the rematch. I'd love to see that fight, too. A Volk-Lopez rematch.
yeah,
That'd be a great fight.
I would agree.
All right. The co-main event. Women's flyweight title. Valentina Shevchenko. And
GOAT.
This was her 12th?
11th.
11th title defense, I believe.
Yep.
Against Manon Fiorot. I'll give props to Fiorot. She kept the pressure coming. She didn't seem super afraid to swing with her. Actually, click on that really quick. Did she have a takedown? She did. Okay. Yeah, so they each had one.
Yep. 10
Okay.
attempts from Fiorot.
Yeah, there wasn't
5
as much,
from Shevchenko.
There was not as much grappling as I thought there was going to be. Which I'm not mad about. We got to see the Muay Thai goddess in action. Broke her nose, I'm pretty sure.
GOAT.
Yeah, just a impressive showing from Shevchenko. But I do think it was also an impressive feat from Fiorot. And I do still think she absolutely belongs in the top 5. Still in title contention.
I would agree. And I think that Fiorot kept it competitive, but my GOAT, Valentina Shevchenko, just got it done. And the shorts she was wearing were some of the coolest freaking shorts I have seen in the UFC in a while. And I think those are easily some of the top 5 shorts that I've seen in the UFC period.
Yeah, that was some style.
She looked good doing it, and she got the win. She kept the belt. Got another title defense.
I was wrong about that fight. Not because I was sleeping on Shevchenko. I think I got caught up in the high of Fiorot. But I do believe she can touch gold at some point.
Maybe once
Just maybe
Valentina
not when Valentina Shevchenko
retires.
is champion. Yeah.
Yeah.
She can take it from Grasso.
Yeah. Which I don't know how much longer we have of Shevchenko, but because she is 37.
Yeah, that was a dominant performance from a
For sure.
37-year-old.
For sure.
I still think
I
she's
just-
got a couple fights in her.
I do too,
But I
but
don't think
I
she's
think they're
sticking
numbered
around
for
that
sure.
long.
I
Yeah.
think they're probably 5 or less fights we see from
I was
Valentina
gonna say
before she
3.
retires.
3 or less. Take
Yeah.
her time with it.
Yep.
She's already,
Space it out.
in my opinion, the greatest woman fighter.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, she's already done what she can.
My GOAT. I'll keep saying it. I will never fade Valentina Shevchenko. She's my go. I will always ride with her 100%.
I tried. The money was there. All right. This is your turn.
This was the final main event of the evening. Belal Muhammad versus Jack Della Maddalena. This was a brutal 5-round fight that went to decision. And surprisingly, Belal did not win this decision. This one went to Jack Della Maddalena.
Jack Della Maddalena avoided being wrestle-fucked for 5 rounds and decisioned by Belal. Very impressive to me. Especially after watching... Well, hold on. Let me rewind here. I've never thought Belal has been an exciting fighter. But I'll say it and I'll say it again. He's really good at what he does. He absolutely made Leon look like a can. It didn't help that Sean Brady also made Leon look like a can.
Into the fried chicken.
Yeah, right after that. But I will say, dude's got a chin. I 100% thought JDM was going to knock him out. Didn't fucking do it. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought this was really competitive, really entertaining fight. I think Belal did look really good on the feet, and he had good hands. But Jack did look better, in my opinion.
Maybe not Canelo hands.
Maybe not, just
Canelo
slightly
hands
below.
might have been
A slight exaggeration.
Over-exaggeration, but he has the hands.
Yeah.
But he only has the hands when he's actually mixing in his takedowns and his takedown feints. When he's just going to stand there and box with a pure boxer, this is what happens.
The 4th round where he was mixing in his takedowns and his boxing really well,
He looked better.
that was the round he won,
Yeah,
for
in my
sure.
opinion, I think he won round 4, but I think he got 4-1.
Yeah,
So,
I would tend to agree with you. Jack Della Maddalena, my pick on TikTok was Belal Muhammad, and my parlays needed Belal to win. My parlays didn't hit because of Belal, but I did put a pretty substantial $10 bet on JDM, and that was my biggest hit of the night by decision. And so I'm not too mad at it. I like a new welterweight champion. I think Jack is going to lose that belt very quickly once Islam pops up to take
which
that.
is confirmed now. Islam is moving up to fight Jack Della Maddalena. I'm excited.
I am too. I think we probably end up seeing that fight in like August or September.
Probably.
And yeah, I feel like Islam will have a fairly dominant fight over Jack Della Maddalena because Islam's takedowns are going to be wildly different than Belal's takedowns. And we know that Jack can be taken down by high-level wrestlers like Gilbert Burns, and Islam is levels above even Gilbert Burns in the wrestling department. So I think Islam will make short work of him, but I think Jack should be very proud and hold that gold tight and close because he's not going to have it for very long.
I have a different opinion on that.
Give it.
JDM by knockout. Round 4. It didn't hit against Belal, so it's going to hit against Islam.
My thought process is if he couldn't knock out Belal, he's not knocking out Islam.
Debatable.
Islam is the Sambo king. Knockouts aren't in his blood.
Maddalena is Australian.
Yeah. Islam's Dagestani.
So he's got to lose
He's
another
going
one
to
at
check
some
grapple.
point. I have a firm belief that he's got to lose one, at least one in his UFC.
He has lost
other
one.
than the early one.
He has
He's
lost
going
his
to
one already.
lose another one.
Islam has already had his loss.
And
He
it's
will
going
not
to
have
be an
another.
international fight week against Ilia Topuria if he fights him.
I don't think
If he
that fight
stops
is happening
ducking
anymore.
fucking Topuria, why can't he just fight him and then move up?
I would
If he's
like
so
him to.
confident, why can't he just fight him, prove a point, be like, yeah, motherfuckers, I'm the double champ. He'd have what? That'd be his fifth defense?
Yeah, yes.
Have 5 defense, go up, win the welterweight belt, get revenge for his homie, and then start a double champ run? Legendary. Why wouldn't you just do that? That's what I've been confused about, but we will see.
Yeah.
We will see.
But that is going to wrap it up for tonight's episode. We are going to head to bed because it's very late for us, but we appreciate you guys checking out this episode. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you check out all our socials on our Instagram at Punchlines and Plot Twist Pod. In that Instagram, there's our link tree. That link tree has all of our socials in there and the links to our Spotify and YouTube, which has the full length episodes. Make sure to check out our Plot Twist episodes that is coming out, where we play some games, and also check out our Punchlines episode where we recap or give our predictions for the upcoming Gilbert Burns versus Michael Morales coming next week at the Apex in Las Vegas. Any final messages, Slim?
No, I think that's about it.
Alrighty then. We love you guys. We appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.